Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to this next episode of the Longhorn Council Program Highlight Podcast. I am joined today by a wonderful guest and my coworker, Miss Autumn Bach. So if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about yourself.
Like Theo said, my name is Autumn Bach. I started in scouting as a venture scout when I was 14 years old, and then I started working at summer camp at 18 and volunteering all of my additional time to the scouting program from then until last year when I got hired here and started in January. And I just have a really big passion for this program. And for the topic today of Wilderness First Aid, I got into Red Cross trainings because I became a Red Cross lifeguard instructor. And then from there, I just transitioned into doing all of the trainings that I possibly could learn how to teach. And so I'm a connoisseur of learning so that I can teach others.
That's awesome. And yeah, if any of you have ever been on a camping trip, you know, you always want to have that one person that knows what to do in whatever situation. So that is awesome to hear that you are certainly one of those people. And so you mentioned Wilderness First Aid. That's what we'll be talking about today and some of those training opportunities we will have for all of you next year in 2026. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about Wilderness First Aid? What is it and what does that wilderness part mean?
Yeah, so Wilderness First Aid actually takes the first aid training that you would get. So if you've got your normal CPR first aid course done, Wilderness First Aid actually takes that a step further. So it's any type of medicine that you would need to do when help is 90 minutes or more away from you. So you actually have to have standard first aid CPR prior to taking a Wilderness First Aid course. And when you take it, you're going to learn everything from how to splint something, how to make a backboard, how to stop bleeding, all of like using tourniquets, all of the more intense stuff that we don't want to have to run into when we're on a, backcountry trip, but we would know how to in case that situation occurred.
Yeah, first aid is definitely one of those things where you want to have the training, but you never want to use it. And
Yes.
Especially when you're that far away from help,
Yes.
It can be a little bit overwhelming. So this is a great way to be prepared.
Yeah, and one of the big takeaways when you're learning Wilderness First Aid is when and why and where and how you would decide on if you're going to try to evacuate them yourself or if you're going to stay with them where you're at and send others for help.
Okay.
And that's a big part of that training course is learning when we would actually move somebody and when we would keep them where they're at.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn how not to get in a too many cooks in the kitchen situation.
Yes.
For sure. So who does this apply to? Who should take these courses that we're offering?
Adults, definitely. I think every adult leader should take the course, just because you never know who's going to go on your backpacking trips. You never know what's going to happen. But high adventure bases, Northern Tier, Philmont, Summit, all of those bases require at least 2 adults to have that training. But I also think that you should have youth take the training course as well. So if you have youth members that are interested, they just have to be 15 to take the training course. And then it's really beneficial because in the scenario that it is an adult that gets injured, you do have, older youth that have the training as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So is 15 the age requirement?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Youngest is 15 to take the course. Yep.
Okay, cool. So once you register, what can you expect?
So when you register, this next year we're going to have, I believe I have 11 courses lined up for next year that aren't at summer camp. So we're doing 10 months out of the year. We're doing trainings.
Awesome.
And when you register, we'll have a few that'll be at camps, but most of them will be offered at the Hearst Service Center. And you'll come out on Saturday morning. You will start bright and early at 9 o'clock, and then we will go pretty much all day on Saturday because it's a 16-hour course. So all day on Saturday and then half a day on Sunday. And it's a lot of knowledge, but there's a lot of getting up and doing. So we'll go over PPE, so your personal protective equipment, and then we'll practice putting on gloves and taking off gloves and you practice everything. So splints, making stretchers, carrying people, all of that. So it's not just sitting and getting talked at for 16 hours straight.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that can, everyone's been there. Can be a lot. And so it sounds like there's not a online portion. Is that correct?
Not through the Red Cross, no.
Okay.
So we're transitioning from ECSI, which we used to teach through, to Red Cross, the American Red Cross, because we are expanding different trainings that we're teaching. So throughout the council. So to have all of our training cards come from the same organization is very beneficial. So through the Red Cross, there isn't an online portion unless you take your CPR portion first online, but it doesn't save you any time on the weekend course anyways.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know about you all, but I definitely prefer the in-person trainings. I feel like the knowledge sticks a lot better.
Yeah, and you can ask questions if you're in person too. And there's no stupid questions. There's no crazy questions that people haven't heard before because, if you're thinking of it, somebody else is probably thinking
Exactly.
of it. Yeah.
Exactly. I like that. Awesome. So if you're interested in attending one of these courses, what do you need to be looking for, and who can participate? What kind of people are you looking for to...
So, like I said, anybody 15 and older can come and take the training course. In order to register 15 and older, you would just go to the our Black Pug registration, or you can go to the council calendar. And if you see one Wilderness First Aid training, when you click on that and go to the registration, it'll have all of the dates listed for all of the trainings under one registration. It's just going to be separate sessions. And for next year, our first course is January 24th. And then we will have one pretty much every month except for June and July. And there's 2 in May, I believe. I have 2 scheduled in May.
Right before that summer rush of programs.
Yes, because we have a lot of people who your schedule gets busy and you go, oh, I'm going to Philmont next month, and I don't have my Wilderness First Aid training yet. But if you want to participate, just register through that. If you want to become an instructor and teach Wilderness First Aid, just send me a message and I can get you all of the information that you need. You can call me or email me and I can get the information for how to become an instructor. Because I am ramping up how many sessions we're doing a year, I would love to have 12 people trained to teach the course, so that way you can teach one a year and then be done teaching, because it's a lot to take on as an instructor. And anybody, you don't have to be a member. You can be a non-member and take this course. We actually do have people come in that are just trying to get a CPR course, and they'll come in and take the class for that purpose. But yeah, that's how you register.
I love that. And well, there's your call to action. Number 1, become an instructor, help us out. And then number 2, get all your friends, scout or non-scout, to come out, take this training, because you always need to have that person that knows what to do. And to find Autumn's contact information, longhorncouncil.org on the staff directory. Her phone number and email address are on there if you want to reach out. Alrighty, well, we have definitely learned a lot about Wilderness First Aid today, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Autumn. I do have one more question that's become a recurring segment here that I'd love to ask you as someone who seems very well equipped for the outdoors. All right, I'm going to paint you a bit of a picture. Okay. So you are on a wilderness survival campout, okay? It's only you. You got nobody around. It's an area that you haven't been to before. You have food, you have water, you have shelter. What are your 2 essentials that you're going to bring to help you survive that wilderness survival experience?
Okay. I have food, water, and shelter already.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have something to drink my water with?
There's clean water. There's a river of beautiful crystal clear water.
It in my hands. Yeah. Okay. I would probably bring a pocket knife.
Okay.
And some sort of way to start fire.
Yeah, that's
Those are going to
important.
be my 2 because I get cold.
Do you have a go-to fire starting method?
I like to use flint because I am always worried that the lighter is not going to work and matches are not going to work. So I like to use flint and steel.
I like that.
Especially because I used to, in my venture crew, we would do competitions for fire starting, and I never lost with flint and steel.
Smart.
So
Yeah, time tested. I like that. And you never know what Mother Nature is going to throw at you, so that's good.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Autumn, thank you so much. We know a little bit more about Wilderness First Aid. We know how to survive in the outdoors. I love that. We will come at you with another episode about aquatic school. It's really exciting. This is going to be the first long-term camp that we are featuring on this podcast. So definitely tune in for that. Check our YouTube channel, Longhorn Council, or our Facebook page, Longhorn Council Scouting America. And Autumn will be back on that episode, which I am super excited about. So thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your busy days to join us. See you next time.
Thank you.